This is BBC2. Attention. This is an emergency broadcast from the BBC. Please pay attention. Normal programming has been suspended. At around 10 o'clock, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration informed the United States government that they have discovered strange red dots in the sky. They have been spotted near the Pinwheel Galaxy, the Helix Nebula, and IC 1101. These red dots have not been determined as of yet. However, they could pose a threat to the universe. You are advised to stay in your homes and avoid going out in public. This is to avoid becoming blind, since these red dots are brighter than the sun. These red dots are moving at a very fast rate, and its estimated time of ending the universe is 3.5 hours. Ensure you have a battery-powered radio, as there is a possibility that television services could be forced offline. If you know people who are in a public area, do not attempt to contact them. The police will inform them of the current situation, and they will give them special blindfolds and take them home. And attempting to make calls could lead to widespread telephone line issues. If your children are at school, they will be returned home shortly. Do not make attempts to collect them. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration are communicating with the United Nations, and information is currently being relayed to various governments around the globe. British space experts are now looking into the current situation to determine the specifics. At the current moment, we do not have any more information to bring you at this current moment, but this broadcast will remain active so new information can be relayed as quickly as possible. Please stay tuned to this channel and stay calm. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration has relayed new information to the United Nations, and they have determined that these objects are not some sort of bird, plane, planet or galaxy, but a black hole-like object. These objects are similar in size to the supermassive star Stephenson 218. However, these objects do not seem to be black holes, as its color might come from its core. It is possible that these red dots are red hole of corruptions. As such, it is possible that these red hole of corruptions are much bigger than Stephenson 218. It is unknown whether if they are indestructible or not. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration are working to destroy them, as they could pose a threat to the universe. Our advice does not change. Remain calm, remain in your homes, and have a battery-powered radio with spare batteries ready should television services go offline. Please stay tuned to this channel and await further information. We have received new information regarding these red hole of corruptions. It has now become apparent that they are rapidly expanding. It is currently unknown as they are indestructible or not, but there is no doubt in the minds of the United Nations and the National Aeronautics and Space Administration that these red hole of corruptions will destroy the universe. The United Nations have requested that we make an attempt to destroy them, but despite them moving rapidly, they are still out of range, and it is barely unlikely that any destruction will occur. The United Nations are on standby to take military action, but then red hole of corruptions show damage. They have also instructed the various militaries of the world to wait for a clear sign of destruction, as they may be indestructible, and it is in the best interests of the human race to shoot laser beams. We have no more information to bring you. Please stand by and await further information. Unfortunately, it has come to our attention that these red hole of corruptions are indestructible. The universe has begun to shrink because of their expansion. The reason for their expansion is unknown, but what is known is that these red hole of corruptions have stopped moving, and they have begun to make strange and eerie sounds. As such, you are advised to say your last goodbyes. If these red hole of corruptions are indeed preparing to destroy the universe, the human race simply cannot defend against such an attack, and you should prepare for a dignified death. Do whatever you feel is necessary to prepare, within legal or moral reason. Say goodbye to your loved ones or do an activity that comforts you. As the end of reality approaches, ensure that your death will be a dignified one. Do not panic. Allow yourself to die with dignity, honor, and respect. If you wish to die on your own terms, suicide is recommended. In order to do so, use a firearm or blade. Use a sharp blade and slice across your throat. Death will come quickly. To do so using a firearm, place the muzzle of the firearm towards the roof of your mouth and pull the trigger. Do not commit suicide if you have a family, especially if you have young children. It is important to not leave them alone and in emotional distress during their final moments. Do your best to keep them comfortable. It is your choice as to whether or not you tell them of current events. That is all from us at the BBC. It is an absolute pleasure for being with us for the last 30 years. We will end with the national anthem, and we will meet at the other side. Goodbye forever.